So income, I want you to notice in the second line, it says relied on. That's the big deal. What did you rely on? I don't care what they told you. I don't care what the W-2s say. I don't care what the tax return says. I don't care. Tell me what you used. So maybe you discount their overtime, and maybe that's legitimate because of secondary market requirements don't allow you to count that, or their bonus income, things like that. It's whatever you use. Now let's just step back a minute. What is all of this about? It's fair lending, right? So the examiners are trying to find where you might be illegally discriminating against somebody. And I'm just going to be blatantly rude here for a minute. I'm going to be blatantly discrimination for training purposes only. But if let's just say I'm a pig, I like to call it. It's a discriminator. I'm a pig. And I think that we shouldn't count the wife's income. Now, that might be legitimate if I said, do you expect any eruptions in your income? And the couple's there, and she said, yeah, I'm going to have a baby and I'm not going back to work. Well, that's legit. I wouldn't count her income then to repay this loan. Again, I'm doing this for training purposes only. Do not throw anything at me. It would be a little hard to the screen. But anyway, it could be I'm having a baby and the husband is going to stay home and raise that child. Then we shouldn't count his income. I don't care how you came up with it. Show it to me. Because if you have a pig, I was using myself as the example here, that is always discounting the woman's income, I'm going to be found, because the examiners look at this data field very carefully and they say, how did you calculate that number? And they'll see that, when there's a husband and wife, they're always discounting the woman's income. They're not counting it. Why not? That would be a red flag, and it would be probably something that would be discovered. And that's why they're looking for this so closely. So whatever relied upon, you got to show the work. So those of you that are maybe HMDA clerical, if you will, you're the ones that are, making sure the data is accurate, you're completing the loan application register, et cetera. You should never have to search through a file to try to guess what the loan officer used for income or the underwriter. If you do, you're going to be wrong often. The reason? There's 4, 5 different income. There's what they told you they make. No one goes with that. There's that W-2, there's the tax return, there's an underwriting worksheet. That would be the one. And maybe the loan officer grabbed a scratch pad and wrote out some things and said, I'm not counting this and that. Or maybe they had monthly income and they didn't do the math correctly when they multiplied by 12 or whatever. I need to know what was relied upon. And that's the only acceptable answer. If in that process, we're determining that you've got a discriminator in your bank, we want them to be gone, right? That's what you wouldn't want somebody illegally discriminating anyway. So we're going to find them, and this is one of the data fields that does that.